Hi, I'm Jessica Brockett. I'm a new English teacher here at Victory Christian Academy, and I'm ready to start the new best school year ever, and I hope you are too. So I'm going to go through some things since we can't meet face-to-face, which I would prefer, but we'll go through some things that will go on in our classroom this year, and hopefully I can get some information to you pretty quickly. So I'm going to share my screen with you. All right. So a little bit about me. I've been in education for about 17 years. I've taught middle school and high school history and English and some other subjects. I've been in school leadership and I've coached, and most recently I've been in professional development working with teachers and principals of private schools. And so I am very excited to be back in the classroom with high school students because I absolutely love teaching high school. I've lived in Plant City for the past 14 years. And I really love nature, hiking, sports, basically anything to be out and about. I like to move around. So I'm excited to teach these students English and hopefully get them to love reading and enjoy learning. So this year, VCA is adopting a new learning management system called Schoology. It's going to be awesome. And each kid will have their own Schoology account, and they'll be able to see their assignments, submit classwork, get some feedback from the teachers. And it's going to be very similar to Google Classroom. So we're excited to use that program. The students are going to be working alongside the teachers to learn how to use the program as well. And we'll have training videos, and even you as parents will be able to see some of those. And so by using this platform, we're going to be able to really kind of help kids learn at home and within the classroom. And hopefully we can kind of blend things and make it a little bit easier if we do have to transition back to home learning. So here's a little bit of my classroom, show you a couple of pictures. As you can see, we're going to be socially distanced as much as possible. So I would prefer to set up our desks a little more collaboratively, but we need to be safe at this time. So for now, we're going to be 6 feet apart in our rows. If you can see here, I have up here in this part of the classroom in the front here, the Wall of Fame. I'm excited to use this. I really want to encourage students to set goals and achieve them. And so it doesn't even necessarily have to be an academic goal that we can put on that Wall of Fame. If they're working on something in sports or something personal, a goal that they're trying to achieve and they do it, they can bring a picture or whatever representation they want. So I'm excited for us to celebrate our achievements on our Wall of Fame. So some of the things we're going to be studying in English this year, obviously we're going to go over grammar. We're going to learn some vocabulary to kind of help with our SAT and ACT scores. We're going to learn how to write better. So our composition is going to include like some smaller prompts that they're going to need to keep in their portfolio. That way, when it comes to some of the larger journaling projects, they're going to have some smaller things already put together, so they should be able to help kind of build upon those projects. We're going to read some novels. I'm very excited, especially with some of our classic literature, but we'll make it interesting and we'll enjoy it. There's going to be some independent reading as well, so all of the students can choose the books that they'd like to read and report back to the class on those. And then we're going to have some civil discourse, hopefully be able to discuss some of the things that we've learned and our opinions and our views in a respectful way. So I'm excited to be doing all of that. Some of the class materials that our students are going to need, pens and pencils. Highlighters are going to be important, especially in English language arts. We need to make sure that we can annotate things, and if we can do that in different colors, it just kind of makes it more fun and interesting. So they're going to need a composition book for writing and then another notebook to keep notes in. They'll need some folders to kind of keep some of that paperwork. We'll also be saving some things on Schoology. So I just want to have as many opportunities for students who learn different ways. If they want to use a piece of paper or if they prefer to use digital device, that's fine with me as well. But we like to keep things interesting. So we're going to have some colored pencils and some markers, some Post-it notes to kind of help just make everything more colorful and more interesting to enjoy. All right, we're also going to need 3x5 cards so we can kind of chunk information so we can learn it a little bit better. So I do want to remind you that some of these school supplies are going to get used up throughout this school year, so we may need to get some more. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult this year than normal due to COVID. You know, we can't just pull all of our supplies out of our backpack and be sharing them back and forth. So we want to make sure that we have our own set of supplies, and if we do lend something out to somebody, we kind of expect to not be able to get that back. So unless we sanitize it. So we're going to try to be very careful and keep everyone as safe as possible in our classroom. So our grading breakdown, homework and classwork is going to be about 20% of the grade. You know, I don't like to give a lot of homework. It is necessary to do some reading at home and do some studying, but most of our homework and classwork will be hopefully done here in class, working together sometimes, and even try to give them some time to do some individual study as well. Quizzes will be 30% of the grade. I'll try to give 2 of those a week. They should have a vocabulary quiz every Friday, and we'll have some other quizzes and assessments as we go through. Projects are going to be 15% of the grade. Some of those will be done collaboratively. We're going to have some choice boards to give them some opportunity to kind of pick some things that they prefer. But those will be worth about 15% of their grade. Their tests and their larger papers are going to be 35% of the grade. So I just want to encourage everybody to study hard and do well. All right, we're also going to track our learning. Research says that students who are able to track their own learning do better in the classroom because they kind of have a direction that they know that they're going. I know that if you've ever talked to a high school student and maybe they're not doing so well with their grades, kind of some of the response can tend to be, oh, I'm going to try harder. But if we don't really have a goal laid out, that might be a little bit difficult. So we're going to try to track our learning individually. If we decide within the class as a group, if we want to do that as a group, maybe put something on the board, we'll have a big scale to kind of do that together. If everyone's comfortable with that, we may do that. But I would like to have individual scales. So each student, as we're going through a unit, they can track their own goals and their own learning to see how they're progressing in their learning. So here are some class agreements that I've put together. When we meet together on our first day of school, I'm going to get the students' input on some of these agreements that we'd like to have in our classroom. You know, we want to have a good, positive learning environment that everyone wants to be a part of. So we'll come with those together with those. But here are some that I've laid out. You know, we want to be present and prepared. So when I say be present, we don't just mean, you know, you're in the seat. We want to be engaged. We want to be here at school. And so we want to try to be kind and considerate to each other and to ourselves even. And we want to listen before we speak, follow instructions, and really want to help our students challenge themselves to be able to achieve high goals and high expectations. And we're going to celebrate, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of fun doing all of this together. So some of our consequences for our learning disruptions in the classroom. We're going to have teams, team points, and you'll see this on the syllabus. It'll be in a little bit more detail. But we'll have teams, and we'll start out with lots of team points if we have some learning disruptions. Then I will verbally speak to the student. If that doesn't work, then I'll have a private conference with that student. If we're still not able to change our behavior, or change our perspective on things, then I'll have to meet with the parent. Now, please tell me, and I encourage all of my students to talk to me about something. I'm not perfect, and if there's something that I'm misunderstanding or there's a lack of communication between me and the student, the only way we can resolve that is by having a conversation. So I encourage students to have a conference with me. Parents, I encourage you to speak with me if you're having an issue, if you need something, please do not hesitate to reach out if you have an issue. And if I have anything exciting to tell you about, I'll definitely reach out to you about your child. So hopefully it won't just be when there's a problem. I will not send a student to the office until we have gone through this whole process of, a parent conference and a student conference as well. So, like I said, if you have any questions about that or if any issue arises, please just talk to me about it. All right, so here's my contact information. My email is here. I'll leave that up here for a couple of minutes for everybody to be able to copy down. But our conferences will be scheduled through Schoology this year, but my extension is 373. So here at the school phone number, and 3 to 4, I should be wide open. If you email me, I will do my very best to respond to you as soon as I can. In the middle of the school day, it might not be as easy because I will be teaching your students. But after school, I'll do my best to contact you as soon as possible so I can answer your questions or solve whatever issue. So I'm very excited. I can't wait to see what God has for us this year in our class, all of our classes. And I'm excited to meet all of the students in person, and I'm excited to meet the parents in person. So have a good day, and I'll see you soon.